ruddy heck, this is a bit of a difficult conversation, but we must have it.
Holla at me, baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need an act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks, baby.
Yo, didn't think I'd be uploading again today, but I felt a muse, an inspiration, and here we are. So welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan, and I do hope you're doing well. I genuinely, wholeheartedly, really do hope that. And welcome back to, not quite a Chelsea news video, but we're talking about Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea's £105 million player. Our recently transfer record, of course, we spent 100 million on Lukaku, or like 98 million on Lukaku. Now we went 105 on Enzo Fernandez, and of course we've since smashed that with Moises Caicedo for 115 million pounds. Though no one's really talking about Caicedo because he's playing incredibly well and has been recognised as an excellent player in good form with a high ceiling that seems to be developing. Now, Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner, Best Young Player of the World Cup Award, Copa America winner, quality player that of course came with controversy in the summer, but we're not going to speak about that today because of course we've done that to death on the channel, and you know my opinions, we know the opinions of everyone involved now. So, we're going to talk about the football of Enzo Fernandez, and I'm going to blow your minds with a stat you may or may not have seen already, plus another one. And then we're going to have a little look at Enzo on X value there. So thanks for joining me. As always, I would welcome you to support the content. Thank you very much for doing so. Just drop a like on the video, comment. If you do choose to subscribe, hit the bell. It's important so you do get notified, right? When I upload. Let's get into it. Alright then, there's no way of sugarcoating this. I'm just going to show you this stat courtesy of Sky Sports. Chelsea, with and without Enzo Fernandez, all competitions since February 2023. Now, he's played more games with and more without, but you will notice it's not looking good, Brev. And by the way, there are mitigating circumstances for this, of which I am, of course, going to highlight, but it doesn't take away the sheer shock factor and sobering reality of what this stat represents. So, games with played a lot more than he's played without, so the sample size is more than 3 times as big. We have to respect that, but still, nearly 20 games, 19 games is a good sample size. Wins 21, wins 16, draws 19, draws 1, losses 25, losses 2. Now, of course, what we're looking at here is the win rate. The win rate with Enzo Fernandez in the Chelsea team is 32.3%. Not even a third, under a third of games that Enzo, because even when you talk about the stats of him without and the games whatever without, the games he's played, and is that since he signed? Did he sign January 2023? How long has he been with us? 18 months? Because he signed with Mudryk. Yeah. I think that's since he signed. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's since he signed. He's not even won a third of the games that he's played in as a Chelsea player. And he's a winner. Like, he's used to winning. He wants to win. That's his mentality. That's his psychological profiling that Chelsea analysed prior to beating him. So he won't like that he has not even won a third of the games he's been a part of. But without him, without Enzo Fernandez, all the games we've played without him, we have a win rate of 84.2%. That is a radically high win percentage, 84.2%. That's like, Man City dream of that. That's insane. Now, of course, we need to talk about the games that Enzo Fernandez won't have played. He's a high-profile, expensive asset that won't be playing the 5-0 win games against Barrow, the 4th division team in the FA Cup. He won't be playing in the, games against Servette or, the Conference League games. The games that are bankers that Chelsea win. They're the games he's not playing. And also, I posted this on my social media. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at FootballYannick, and that's also the branding for my second channel that you're welcome to subscribe to if you're interested in more non-Chelsea content from me. Not only is it the games that he won't be playing in are easier games that we are, of course, inclined to win, he also played a lot in the Graham Potter disaster era. He played a lot in the Frank Lampard interim disaster era, where it wasn't his fault. Chelsea were just getting slapped up on the regs, and he was like a first name on the team sheet player. He played for injury, to his credit, even if that's a wrong thing to do. He fought for Chelsea. He always fights for Chelsea. He's always giving everything. He's not like, a runner. He's not going to run loads, but he's clearly one for the cause, and that's why probably he's wearing the captain's armband right now in Reece James's absence. I'm very mindful to talk about the positives of Enzo Fernandez here, because I want this to be a balanced video, but it does not, guys, take away the fact that even with those mitigating circumstances of the kind of games he won't have played in that Chelsea win, and, being part of the Potter and Lampard disaster period, that still does not forgive those metrics. That is a radical win percentage with and without him. The discrepancy is just freaking, it's over 50%. It is over 50%. It's like 52%. That's nothing short of insane, guys. That is chicken oriental, mate. That is proper crazy. Another little stat to show you as well here. Most times dribbled past. This is also courtesy of Sky Sports. Since his debut, right? So since his debut. And for context, right? He's meant to be a sort of midfield player that's not a sitter that screens the back four. That sort of could do potentially as a quarterback. But he's not like a flair. He's not like a Bruno Fernandes that's going to lose the ball a lot or whatever. He's meant to be more of a sort of functional midfielder, Enzo Fernandez. He simply is, he's meant to be there. Very interesting to see Mac Allister in there, although that would have been Brighton, but he's also been deployed as a number 10, Mac Allister. Trent's pretty funny because he's meant to be a defender. Pedro Porro, to be fair, both Trent and Porro get forwards a lot. Porro literally plays like suicide ball for Ange, so he is always going to be people getting behind him. But it makes no one's surprised that people are getting behind Trent all the time. Bruno Fernandes is playing in the hole as a creative number 10, and he's skinny, he's not a tackler, people will go past him. I mean, Casemiro, that's an absolute friggin' disgrace. Because he is meant to be a CDM, but we've seen Casemiro's recent time in the Premier League for Man United has been nothing short of sad, really, because he was so good. So his tragic story, Casemiro tells its own story. But for Fernandez, who's meant to be a young World Cup winner, entering the prime of his life, to just constantly be dribbled past there. Now, again, it would be remiss of me not to offer caveats and disclaimer. Say all last season, there would have been times where we were playing, Mauricio Pochettino Chaos Ball, and it is Chaos Ball Pochettino. He left the midfield really, really open, and it was not structured well at all in the mid sector of the pitch with Pochettino, and there was a great vulnerability of being transitioned on constantly, so therefore people dribbling past you. So it's important to note, I do think in his tenure at Chelsea, he's been hung out to dry a lot. So what I want to talk about here is I don't necessarily think, maybe he's been in poor form, he's also been injured, a lot. He was playing with that hernia injury for a long time, and like I said, whatever. But I do think he is, and I'm not like being a massive, maybe I am being a bit of a Fernandez sympathizer here. We got to be fair a little bit, but I do think he's been a victim of circumstance. There's a certain chance I'm a victim of circumstance. I Phantom, if anyone knows that rap song. Doubt anyone's gonna know that. Anyway, yes. I do think he's been a victim of circumstance. We've never really ever accommodated Enzo Fernandez, but that's not to say he hasn't played well for Chelsea. In fact, at moments he's been excellent. I recently on this channel, when I do match reviews, I talk about certain times where he plays beautiful diagonals or balls over the top, first time sweeping passes. He can do that. I remember Jamie Carragher had a raging hard on for him after he won man of the match against Liverpool, possibly at Anfield. Like, he was running the game entirely. That play is in there. So I do think he's a victim of circumstance, of just Chelsea. Maybe this was just poor scouting. I know we got him before Caicedo. Maybe our scouting team hadn't fully realised what they want to do yet. And of course now Maresca. I think the recruitment from now on, should we keep Maresca and it goes well, touch wood, I think, you know, the investment, you don't spend £105 million on a player like Fernandez because you feel like he's not what we need right now. And I spoke just earlier today in the match preview, is Lavia going to be the player that benches World Cup winner, £105 million player Enzo Fernandez? Now, the owners don't want that. They want Fernandez to work. He's a huge asset investment. So let's take a look at his X value and just remind ourselves what he is. He's apparently a roaming playmaker, which makes sense because he's got incredible passing. He really does. Build-up director as well. Sort of like a regista, but the fact how he's roaming would say that he's not a regista because they sort of stay in one place like Jorginho. He moves around a lot more. We've seen him underlapping with Jadon Sancho. And in fact, his heat map on the left-hand side here, he's been sort of playing as a left 8. Getting to sort of here and underlapping with Jadon Sancho sometimes. Strengths, not shooting, not dribbling at all. This brother cannot dribble the ball. Not great with aerials. Okay with recoveries. His passing should be much better than that. And his assisting. So his key metrics by cluster here are team touch percentage, which was that? Player touches as percentage of total team. Maybe he gets a lot of passes. Progressive passes per 100. That's good. Passes into final third, 100. So really, he needs to be playing with the game in front of him, guys, rather than being pushed into this like advanced 8. I know Liam Twomey of The Athletic always talks about the game being in front of Enzo Fernandez is better. But yeah, let's have a look at some more stats here, guys. I mean, this is poor. This polar chart here. We're used to seeing Chelsea players have a lot of blue. The aerial wins percentage is really poor. Tackles win percentage is really, really poor. Non-penalty XG. I mean, we're kind of playing him now, expecting he can get the odd goal, so that needs to be better. Intercepts bad. Not dribbling. This is dismal stuff, guys. So this is this season, by the way. It'll be interesting to just let's have a little look for last season. Okay, so last season, clearly a much better influence. Much better influence. Progressive passes off the chain. Expected threats passes off the chain. Better from carries. Tackles 1%, still awful. Interceptions, still awful. But his long passes is good. We know he can do that. But let's go back to this season because this is what we're dealing with here. Shooting, poor. Really poor. Chance creation, poor, like for what he's supposed to be. 75th percentile, 70th percentile. It's not embarrassing, but it's poor. Progression, again, poor, bro. Duels, he needs to be defensive. Well, poor. Defensive action, 70. It's not even passable. Look, in his similar profile of players, they've put him 25th out of 26 in the Premier League. Doucouré, better than him. Don't worry, Calafiori's he's a centre-back. They're obviously playing similar sort of styles of play. But yeah, man, like really, really bad. It's bad, bro. Like, it's bad. Obviously a lot better last season, but that is just not good, dude. And it makes you worry, like, if a fully Lavia is fit and he's good to go. I know Enzo Maresca just spoke in his press conference saying Reece James, who's fully fit now, by the way, Wes Fofana and Romeo Lavia, when they're all match fit, even when they're all inverted commas match fit, they're still only going to play one game a week, probably for an extended period of time to protect them after coming back from their long-term injuries. So maybe Lavia takes Enzo Fernandez's first team, the Premier League squad, and Enzo gets relegated to the Conference League squad. And he probably won't be happy with that because he's a winner, he's a high-profile player, he's won, loads of multiple trophies now of his country. He'll be thinking, oh, yeah, I'm a big boy baller, I want to be the guy. But if he knows his performances have been poor and he'll still basically get to play once a week in the B team, and he'll be linking up with Joao Felix, who he's got a good relationship with, and Neto and other and Nkunku or whatever. He'll be playing with quality, so it's not like he's not going to be playing. He's not like he's going to be playing with the kids, thinking what's going on here. And maybe that'll be better for him to find a way into the side, build up some confidence in play style under Maresca again. But that is a shocking stat, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Wow. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below if you enjoy my content. Let me know, and drop a like and comment about it. As always, I'll thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. And I look forward to seeing you back. Daily content here, of course. All right. Peace.